Daquan's had a really good camp. I think he's kind of stepped his game up a notch. All those guys realize this has been the first time since I've been here that we've actually had really competition behind Noel to compete for that second spot. Before, it's always been Jock or knowing that, hey, Jock was our ace in the hole. Now we kind of feel like we're a little bit better situation. If Noel, God forbid, were to go down, you've got a guy that can get in there and get you out of a game and do some things like that. And Trey Johnson's had a great camp. I think he's got a ton of potential. He's got great wiggle. He's a lot more powerful than he looks. And he's got a frame. He's going to be a much bigger man than he is right now. So I'm really happy with him right now. I mean, we're going to put Tavon in the backfield some. We'd be silly not to. We're going to do the same thing with Jock. He's going to be back there some. We'd be silly not to. But that being said, we're not going to sit back and, we don't want to stun any of his growth that he's been getting as a slot and a wide out at the same time. So, Tavon needs to touch the ball, and so does Jock. So they're going to get their carries, but it'll be some design stuff to make sure they get that. But I feel a lot better with our depth. I feel like we've got as good a running back core as we've had since I've been here, without question. And, I wouldn't trade what we have for anybody right now. I think last year Clark wasn't a very good blocker. He was really pretty bad. We kind of sat back, we looked at that, we watched a video, we had a bunch of cut-ups that showed him he's struggling. He understood that. He needed to become more complete. It was for him, I think it was more, hey, I get the ball in my hands, I'm going to do my thing, but when he wasn't blocking. So he's really worked hard on that in the offseason. I couldn't be more happy with him, the way he's performed so far. This camp, he's done just about everything we've asked him to do. And then he's a load back there. I mean, everybody saw that last year, and that hadn't changed. But I think he's become more complete. And now that you can line him up in different spots and know that he's going to be assignment sound, he's going to move some people, he's going to create some running lanes. He's made a couple great blocks for Noel the last couple days. So, and his whole focus has changed. You could tell he's matured a little bit over the last 2 years. Matt Lindemood is a backup. I think he's really he's had an exceptional camp. He runs the ball really well, and I think kind of to answer your question, when you have a Noel back there and you have so many guys that are able to touch the ball, you don't have to sit back and beat one of them up to do it. And like I said, Matt gives us some things in the run game as far as when he's in the backfield, he can run it, and he's done a great job of blocking. And then Ricky Kovac has played in 26 games or 27 games, however many games we've played since we've been here. So he's played in a ton of football. So we feel pretty good when we get some bigger sets. We got some guys that can get in there and move some people and create some running lanes that we probably hadn't had in the past. I think you look at it now and with Matt's, emergence and with Ricky being a solid player, you can get back there and feel good with Ryan Clark being your tailback and having good people blocking in front of him. And Tavon's about 5'9", 170. So that's a big difference in that respect. But they've got first step, initial quickness, and Tavon is kind of a blending of Jock and Noel together. He's got some of the same traits that each of them have, and he's there's not too many better than him with the ball in their hand. Now we just got to make sure he's always in the right spot, that he does the right things to get there, and then we've got to make sure that we get it to him. That's part of coaching. This thing is being better without the ball, and we all see what he can do with the ball in his hand, and he's matured. It's easy. I sat down with the scout, and talked a little bit about him the other day, and I said his game is 100% better than it was 2 years ago. No longer you see those Barry Sanders type runs running side to side and all that stuff. He gets north, and those kind of things that's going to give him an opportunity to play at the highest level. But he's got to be better when he doesn't have the ball in his hands. He does a great job with it in his hands, but he's got to catch the ball better. He's got to pass protect better. He's got to do a better job of being out in space and running routes. And he's worked on those things. He made a catch yesterday in a team on a corner route, which 2 years ago, I asked him to run a corner. I don't know what I would have got. So he's come a long way in that respect, and we can put him out in the slot and do some different things. And then, Jock's, we're really working on his route running, the top of his routes, doing some things of that nature. But I think for both those guys, you want to just be better leaders. And I think they both kind of accepted that. I think you can see that Noel's, he practices hard every day, and Jock's always practiced really hard. But now they're both on the same page, understanding that, hey, I need to be early to meetings. I need to be the last to leave. I need to show the young guys how to study, how to work on their game, and how to be better in practice, how that goes on to the game. So I think those guys have made tremendous strides, and they're leaders, and that's a big thing.